episode of Drummer's Guide to. Today I want to talk about something that I use literally day to day, and I find it really, really useful. I did actually mention it in an Instagram post that I did a couple of weeks ago, so I thought I'd just expand on it. And it's something called the Pomodoro technique. It's something to help with productivity, I guess. And yeah, I just thought I'd share that this is what I do every day so that I don't absolutely wear myself out, because I used to. So I'll give you a brief description of what it is. My description, because I'm sure it's not very accurate to what it actually is, but it's essentially a way of working where you might work for 25 minutes. So you set a timer, work for 25 minutes, and then you will have a break when your alarm goes off for 5 minutes to go do something completely different. And then you come back to work for another 25 minutes, and then you do another 5-minute break, and you sort of cycle this throughout your working day, basically. And it sort of clears your head, it keeps you fresh, and yeah, I think it's like super helpful. And as I say, I use it every day. I don't do the 25-minute 5-minute thing. This is very specific, I do 52 minutes of work and 17 minutes of something different. And that something different can be going for a walk, or I do exercise, or just, you know, even, I don't know, surfing on social media. It's a way to basically concentrate and know that, okay, I'm gonna have a break in 25, 30, 52 minutes. So you can kind of just like have complete attention, tunnel vision on what you're doing, without getting worn out. Because honestly, like, I used to work myself into the ground. I would be working for like 8 hours straight, maybe a couple of toilet breaks here and there. But yeah, it would just be, and I'd end up at the end of a day and just be like, I'm just exhausted. How am I going to do that again tomorrow? Especially when doing things like learning songs, coming up for rehearsals for a tour, when you want to go into rehearsals fresh. You don't want to go in and be like, guys, I'm exhausted, and then you spend a week in a room with no windows. It's just not a good way to start. But when I started doing this, I definitely noticed a difference, and by the end of the day I'd be like, yeah, I'm a bit tired, but do you know what, I feel good. And usually there'd be a lull in the middle of the day, and that kind of disappeared. And as I say, what I do now, I do my 52 minutes of like absolute, in fact, I'm in a 52-minute thing now, and hopefully I won't talk long enough that you'll suddenly hear my random alarm going off that is essentially a cowboy going, yee-haw, which means that I get a break. And what I do in my break is I do exercise, and I don't listen to anything or anything like that when I do my exercise. But what it means is I'm completely changing my my physicality, because usually obviously I'm just sitting there, I might be charting, I might be playing, I might be on the computer, I might be recording, whatever, and to go from that to something that is extremely dynamic sort of like changes my whole state of mind anyway, which is great. And it actually loosens me up to think about the stuff that I've been working on, or what I am working on and what I'm about to work on, to maybe come up with more creative solutions if I've got a problem, or just to think about what I'm about to do and just sort of like, yeah, just get a fresh head back on it. And then you come back and I am quite excited usually to come back and be like, cool, yeah, even if by the end of that 52 minutes I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this anymore, it's so dull or not inspiring, or I'm tired, and then I come back and I'm like, oh no, actually it's fine. So yeah, I'd suggest maybe using it. Oh, the reason that it's called a Pomodoro technique as well, I may as well mention this, is you remember those old school timers? My granny had one, the kind of the ones that twist like that look like a tomato. That's the reason they call it the Pomodoro technique, apparently. So yeah, anyway, I highly suggest that you try it out. If you are going to try it out, start off with small increments, because don't go for the 52-17. It's quite intense to do it straight away. And by the way, the reason I did that, I don't know if I said, apparently it is the optimum amount of work time versus rest time or whatever other time, apparently. And weirdly, I've just read 2 books that cited exactly the same information, but I found it out maybe 2 months ago. So yeah, really interesting. Well, I find it interesting. You probably find this absolutely dull as dishwater, but I really find it interesting. So yeah, give it a go. Like I say, don't cane it at the beginning. Maybe try the 25 minutes, 5 minutes rest or run or meditate, or I don't know, whatever you want. Yeah, and let me know how you get on. I'd be really intrigued to see if people benefit from it in the same way that I do. So yeah, just let me know, and hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions at all or any subjects you'd like me to cover, please leave them in the comments. I will do my best to address them in a good way, hopefully. If not, at least you'll get a good old ramble from me. But anyway, hope you're having a good day, and I will see you again soon. Alright, see you later. Bye!